Just before we start, my lord, we had a discussion with Advocate Mnisi and other colleagues about the continued absence of Mr. Mngomezulu. Now that the court also mentioned his absence, and we've been wondering what impact it might have, on the fairness of the, of the proceedings, and we are really concerned, my lord, about his continued absence, and we feel that at some point he'll have to come put on record that he agrees that the proceedings may continue in his absence, and as to how he will keep himself abreast of the developments in the case.
But didn't we say that? Didn't Mr. Mnisi say that he will keep himself abreast of the case by perusing some of the proceedings on what? YouTube?
Yes.
Which is not a court record.
Yes.
But then he said again he will request the proceedings which were conducted in his absence, the record of those proceedings, so that he can read them. Didn't he say that?
I think during his initial absence.
Yeah, he said he would read those, and after reading those, then he will be able to cross-examine. That's why he requested this court and yourselves that he must cross-examine at the end, although he's on accused number one.
Yes. My recollection was that in the initial stages of Brigadier Gininda's evidence, that's what he said.
Yeah.
But regarding...
Now it doesn't apply to cross-examination.
Yeah, regarding cross-examination, I don't remember him specifically mentioning that.
Mr. Ramsipidi, what do you remember, sir?
My lord, as the court pleases, my memory as well aligns with Advocate Baloyi, that the arrangement was only for the evidence in chief of Brigadier Gininda.
Yeah.
Especially after the Brigadier had finished evidence relating to accused number one.
Yeah.
So that we can proceed with evidence of accused number 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Oh.
Mainly for the evidence in chief. Yet for the cross-examination, my lord, I'm not sure whether that stance was cleared up.
Yeah, he told me. He was saying it in front of you guys who were here in the passage. He's going to request that for cross-examination, he must be accorded the right to obtain a record of the proceedings, and thereafter he will be in a position to cross-examine. And the request was, in the meantime, when he's reading that record, he doesn't want to delay the court. So he's suggesting that he must be given an opportunity that, although in terms of procedure, he's the first one who must cross-examine, but he'll request that the court allow him an indulgence so that he cross-examines after accused number 5's counsel. You don't recall that?
I do recall that.
Oh, Suga. Mr. Mngomezulu, awuzange ungizwe ngikhuluma njalo.
Angezwa Judge.
Mr. Mnisi.
My lord, let me give an indulgence just to explain a thing or two. It is true that at some point Mr. Mngomezulu actually wrote an email to me, and
he has changed his mind.
And I think the court's registrar was also CC'd, wherein he requested me to stand in for him up until last week Friday.
Yeah.
That other week Friday,
Okay.
yes. Which is when then he made the arrangements that he will be following the proceedings on YouTube, and also he would request that some record be made available for him in order to follow what has been happening in his absence. But subsequent to that, I think my mandate to do that then lapsed on last week Friday. But it is also true, my lord, that today when I arrived here, I raised the issue with my colleague Advocate Mngomezulu. Subsequent to the two my colleague Advocate Baloyi also arrived, because it dawned to me that we will keep on representing Mr. Mngomezulu in his absence. We'll keep on requesting one of us to stand him on his behalf. But specifically the mandate that we carry in respect of us standing on behalf of him is a little bit blurred. We don't know whether I've got full mandate in the process to represent accused number one, or that is just to avoid that the proceedings should not be delayed. Now, I also mentioned to my colleague, my two colleagues, that's now Advocate Baloyi and Advocate Mngomezulu, that at some point we basically have to, actually this court must be put in a proper perspective as to what the situation is. Because I'm not even so sure whether today there's any colleague who has been requested by Mr. Mngomezulu to stand in on his behalf. I'm not even so sure.
Yeah, fine, I hear you.
Yes. So we as we were brainstorming, something came amongst us that apparently he's got a candidate attorney. If there's somebody that needs to come and say something or two on behalf of Mr. Mngomezulu and his condition, and the way forward with regard to the representation of accused number one should be something that be put on record, but that should also come from his practice. The candidate attorney should at least come and tell the court what should then be happening. And the reason why we raised that, my lord, was because in one of the many ways, accused person's legal representative should always be at court when the proceedings are going on. His absence, again, in one of the many ways, necessitates that such proceedings should then be postponed in order to avoid, and I'm saying this, my lord, as an officer of the court, in order to avoid a situation where later on it would be argued that the proceedings against that accused person whose legal representative has not been at court, whilst they were proceeding, they constitute a mistrial against him. So that will be something else, my lord. I don't want to mention what is it that would be, as it pleases the court, my lord, which is then the reason why we requested that at least we need to be, that position needs to be clarified. And if there is
but it can only be clarified in the presence.
Record, my lord.
It can only be clarified in the presence of Mr. Mngomezulu. Are you saying?
Yes, my lord. Alternatively, a proxy from his office.
Yeah.
Thank you, my lord.
Anything you want to add, Mr. Baloyi and Mr. Sibande? Dr. Sibande?
No,
sorry.
we confirm what Advocate Nisi put in record.
Yeah.
That was the ambit of the discussions.
Yeah. Then I take the point. Mr. Mngomezulu must come to court, even if he's got to be carried, to come and tell us whether he is still acting for accused number one. Is that not so? Because number one is endorsing Mr. Mngomezulu's arrangements. But like Mr. Mnisi is saying, I get the feel that Mr. Mngomezulu may not be discussing the very arrangements he makes with this court. Maybe he just knows that the colleagues are representing, and I don't want to say his colleagues because apparently they don't know each other. They're accused before court. So maybe Mr. Mngomezulu must be called, I don't know, tomorrow, to come and tell us what he wants to do. Because people agree, like I was telling you about this case in England, people agree, and then when something turns out the wrong way or the right way, then they say, no, we didn't understand our rights. You can say that, you know that. Yeah, although we agreed, it's a legal issue this, we didn't understand it. Another clever advocate will come and argue that. Just, Brigadier, when are you finishing your exams?
The 25th of November.
So you're available today and tomorrow?
I'm available today and tomorrow.
And thereafter?
Thereafter, I'm available next week, Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah, Monday and Tuesday I'm not available. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'm available. The following week as well, some days I won't be available, but thereafter they're not available, my lord.
But is Mr. Mngomezulu being furnished with a court's record? Or are you being furnished with a court record? All of you?
Yes, we do get electronic versions of the
Right,
record,
so
yes.
can't we make an order that he should get the court record relating to his evidence? He wasn't present when you gave your evidence. He
I
was
think,
half present,
yes,
3/4 present.
Yes, yeah.
yes, something to that.
When did you start giving evidence?
Sure, I think October,
The date.
just have to check my
His evidence has been transcribed up to the 18th. I think he started giving evidence around the 10th of
The 10th of October.
Yes, thereabouts.
Yeah. Then, who will undertake to make a copy of the
So it was-
evidence from the 10th of October
The 1st
to
of
Friday?
October. I'm sorry, it was on the 1st of October.
1st of October.
Yes.
Okay, the 1st of October.
Yes.
Who volunteers to? Up to today. What's the date today? The 7th.
The 7th.
Yes, yes.
And this must be transmitted to him. You've got his email address today, so that when he comes tomorrow, he mustn't say he doesn't know what has happened in court. I don't know, but he must get it. Whether it's a hard copy or as you guys do it electronically. Hello? Can you do it electronically? Huh? The what? You have the audio. No. I want him to read the evidence from the 1st of October up to the 6th. 7th. Okay, well, the 7th. He must even hear the arguments today. The 1st of October up to the 7th of October. Is that not so?
Yes.
Can he get a transcript or an audio or an electronic copy? How do you do it? Mr. Hello? Yeah, how do you
Yeah.
do it? You've got it.
I've got them.
Don't you do it through your computer?
Yes, we can forward them to
To
him.
his computer?
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it now. I'm going to read. I'm going to go out for about 15 minutes. You can phone him and tell him what I told you, that you want to transmit a copy of the record from the 1st up to the 7th. And that he must come to court tomorrow and come and explain to us, after having consulted with his client, whether he still wants the arrangement which he made with us, that he'll cross-examine after the other counsels have cross-examined, to continue, or whether he is prepared to forego that opportunity for whatever reason.
I'll take the responsibility to phone him.
Should I go out and then you do it?
Yes, I'll do it.
How many hours or days do you need?
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, let's adjourn for 30 minutes.